Hey everyone, this is JJ for Star Trek. Hi, this is JJ for Frontline Star Wars ForceCast, and today I'm going to be talking about Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's almost here, and can you believe it? We're in December. We're close to the movie. I can't believe it's already here after years of waiting and years of not knowing if there would ever be a new Star Wars movie. I'm definitely pumped and definitely excited to have the journey start again. There's gonna be a premiere in Hollywood coming up, so that's gonna be awesome to see the stars on the red carpet. And there's some big news that George Lucas is attending the premiere. I don't know why in my head I thought that he wasn't gonna be there, since in the press he said some not too kind stuff about his split with Star Wars, calling it a divorce. But he is gonna be there, and it turns out he's one of the few who's actually seen the film so far, and he actually said it was really good. And so I don't think George Lucas is the person who would say he really liked something when he didn't. I mean, I don't think that he'd say he didn't like it, because that would put Disney and J.J. Abrams in a real bad spot. But I don't think he'd say he really liked it if he didn't actually at least like it. So that's got me even more pumped up that the maker, George Lucas, is on board with what's happened. And I think that's good. He's going to be at the premiere because he's going to be passing off the torch, so to speak, to Kathleen Kennedy and JJ, so that'll be kind of a symbolic moment. And so there's been a lot of TV spots recently. I'm sure anytime you watch TV, you've seen a bunch of them. And then recently the cast, JJ Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, have been doing press junkets in LA and then talking about a movie. They're still being very secretive. They're not giving too much away, which is good. I want to be surprised when I see the film. Like, just think of the original trilogy. There was a lot of surprises, like Luke being Darth Vader's son, and Luke and Leia being brother and sister. There's just a lot of surprises. I want to go in being surprised. And it was really cool during the panel. J.J. Abrams says that his main goal was to make people feel something, and he wants them to feel that same excitement that they felt watching the original trilogy, like when he was 11. He wants people to feel like he was when he first saw the films, which I think is really cool. So I think the new movies are gonna have that same feel that Star Wars, that same excitement, but I'm looking forward to see the twist he adds on to it himself. And so the panel was with Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and so let's watch a couple clips from that.
First question is for you, Mr. Ford. And I asked a similar question to JJ, which is, aren't you rich? Why are you doing this?
Very good question.
Thank you.
It's because it's what I do. It's what I like to do. It's what's fun for me. And I had a chance to work with people that I really admire doing something that I thought was going to be fun, and which actually turned out to be fun. And to work with JJ, whose work I had really admired and long known about. And it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Mr. Ford, could you
Where
just...
are you?
Oh, right here, sorry.
Oh, hey, hi.
Could you just talk about what it means to you to be one of the bridges between the original series and this new generation?
It's gratifying to be asked to be part of this. There was a interesting story to tell through the character. It's always nice to anticipate working in something that you know people will have an appetite for. This is not a crapshoot. This is big casino, and it's fun to play with these toys again. It's been a great experience. Thank you.
Question here. What is the bigger difference between this Star Wars and the first Star Wars? How does it feel, being back on the set for Star Wars?
What is the difference? Is that part of the question? I think it's hard to say what the difference is. I can tell you how it feels, It feels familiar. It feels good. It's good to be home, as Han says in the trailer, in the teaser trailer. It's a, I'm aware of the value that's placed on these films by the audience, and I'm gratified that they've been passed on. The first three have been passed on generationally through families, and that there's still an audience for those of us that were in the original film. There's still some value to them in interpreting life somehow, and it's a bit of a mystery, but it's very gratifying to be part of that.
That was scary. No, and I also, I'm the custodian of Princess Leia, so I never got out of character, and I wondered if that would be noticed. No, but I was very nervous. Just, it's been, 40 years for other people, no, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see Harrison saying like how it feels good to be back on set again. And that was funny when the moderator asked why they have so much money, why are they doing this? And it's just, you could really tell that the whole cast loves Star Wars. And what was really interesting in talking about Kylo Ren, Lawrence Kasdan, who's co-writing this film and who also worked on the original trilogy, he said that Kylo Ren's definitely, he's not a finished product, and the fact that he's not going to be polished like the Siths we've seen before, like where Emperor Palpatine, he had everything planned out, he knew what he was trying to do, and he was like this evil mastermind. Whereas Kylo Ren, they said, is reckless, and he's going to be a very 3D dimensional character, and they don't want him to necessarily be a villain, but he's going to show his like journey trying to figure his inner conflicts out, and like he's on this path, and so he's not polished. So they said he's gonna act really reckless, and they said they wanted to create a Sith that's something very different that we haven't seen before. So that'll be interesting to see, just like how, is he on a mission that he wants to do himself, or is he being mentored by someone? And one of the TV spots, where is his voice? I think it's General Snoke.
There's been an awakening. Even you have never faced such a test. And it's time.
Talking to him, it sounds like he's being his mentor. So, like, the old Sith, the rule of two, are we going to be seeing that in the new movies? Is Kylo the master or the apprentice? Based on the way that Lawrence Kasdan was describing him, he definitely sounds like someone who doesn't have it all figured out yet. Or is there maybe, so he'd be the apprentice, or maybe there is no rule of two? Is Kylo trying to restart the Sith, the old Sith Academy, the old Sith Empire, the Sith Order? Is there multiple Kylo Rens, or is he the only Sith right now? So it'll be interesting to see. And I'm wondering what kind of Sith he will actually be. They said he's going to be reckless, but is he going to be like reckless like Anakin? And what's his origin? Is he someone that was someone who was good, and then a moment in time defined his change to the dark side? Kind of like where, Anakin was going down the path of the dark side, but then with him killing Mace kind of pushed him over the edge into the dark side? Or is it kind of something that's born in Kylo to try to bring back the Sith Order, just like Darth Bane, the dark side spoke through him and used him as a tool to create the rule of two, which was better for the Sith? Or is it going to be like someone like Revan, who was a Jedi? Maybe Kylo Ren was a Jedi in Luke Skywalker's New Order, if Luke did start New Order. And did he just kind of like get brainwashed by the dark side, maybe by finding a Sith holocron or something? So it'll be interesting to see like Kylo's origin, like who he is and like what his plans are. And so that'll be interesting to see. And then, yeah, so it'll be interesting seeing what his bloodline is, if he's has a famous bloodline or if he's just Kylo Ren. I wonder if that's a name or that's a mantle. Like Darth Vader, Darth is just his mantle, so maybe Kylo or Ren is like, that's just like a name, that's not his like real name. Yeah, so I wonder who's helping him. He has to have a mentor, I think, especially from that clip. It seemed like someone was really trying to, you know, say what's gonna happen next and trying to give him some like clue what to do. So maybe Emperor Palpatine from beyond, I don't know. And then he's definitely obsessed with Vader, so it makes me think, is he part of Vader's bloodline? I mean, I don't want to get into any like too big of theories, but so it'll be interesting to see because his obsession of Vader's pretty clear. And I know reading the Aftermath book that's out right now, they talk about Vader's lightsaber for a couple chapters in the book, so I wonder if that's supposed to set us up for the new movie. And so getting back to that, so 2 things I think you guys should do before you go see Star Wars: The Force Awakens is read Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. It kind of just sets up the mindset of the Empire and how it transitions into this new entity. And I'd read Shattered Empire, this 4-part comic book series. I'm halfway through both of those right now, and I hope to finish those definitely before the movie. But they're pretty short, so I definitely think you have time to finish them before the movie. And I would definitely suggest that because it really sets the mood. It doesn't give really anything away, and it doesn't really, like, I wouldn't call it a prequel to The Force Awakens, but it kind of sets the mood of what this new movie is. And it kind of shows us that the war never really ended between the rebels, or the New Republic and the Empire. It just shifted a little bit. So that was, after watching episode 6, I thought, you know, the war would be over after a little while. They'd have to like clean up the galaxy a little bit, but the war was just still raging on. And so it'll be kind of I'm interested to see how the Empire is structured. Like before in episode 4, there's Grand Moff Tarkin, and I'm just kind of wondering who's going to be that military leader for them. Is it General Snoke, or is it Kylo Ren? The way they're talking, they said Kylo Ren's pretty reckless. I don't think he's going to be actually a leader. He could be just a tool they're using, like Darth Maul was used in episode 1, just kind of like the Palpatine's tool. So it'd be kind of cool to see who's leading the Empire exactly and how that structure is going to work out. So yeah, the TV spots and the trailers have been awesome. I like how some of them have reminded me of the old trilogy, the original trilogy. And then one where Finn is talking about, he's in the Millennium Falcon, he's shooting down TIE fighters. It reminded me of Luke's first time in the Millennium Falcon shooting down TIE fighters. And then when BB-8 finds Rey on the desert, and she's like, oh, I'm just waiting for my family. And then BB-8, she's like, oh yeah, I'm used to, it like infers that BB-8's waiting for someone too. So it kind of reminds me of Luke finding R2 on the desert, and then, you know, their paths cross, and then that's fate. So it'll be interesting to see, to see what Rey's impact is on the story, because she's supposed to be a pivotal character, according to the panel, touched on that too. So yeah, so I like how, like, it's definitely, I think this movie's definitely gonna have the feel of the original trilogy, but I think they're really gonna take it and make it something its own. And I'm ready to see like the torch pass and see like the changes that are in the galaxy, because after episode 6, the whole galaxy was in an upheaval, so I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of changes. And a couple things you guys should know, that they said there'll be no Jar Jar Binks in the movie, so I'm sure you guys are happy about that. And there'll be no Ewoks. Apparently that was in Harrison Ford's contract. There's no Ewoks in this movie. So I know people weren't big fans about that, so that'll be good. And then the Millennium Falcon, there's this cool video on EW.com where they said go over the changes of the Millennium Falcon, because it's been 30 years, so there's going to be definitely some changes to it. And it talks about how Harrison Ford, since he's a pilot, he wanted all the switches inside the Millennium Falcon to be like real switches, so it'd feel real when he was like using them. So I think that's really cool, that Harrison like is that into it still after all these years, and he really wants to help make this a great movie. Okay, so one thing I'm really excited about this movie for is this is going to be the first time that I'm going to see a Star Wars movie in IMAX. And this is the first time ever, I believe, that well, this is the first time ever, that a Star Wars movie is premiering in 3D. And I saw the 3 prequel movies in 3D at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, and that really added a cool dimension, an extra dimension, to the movie. I know the prequels weren't everyone's favorites, but in 3D, some of those scenes are just beautiful, and it really added something to the film. Like the chase scene through Coruscant with Anakin and Obi-Wan, that looks so cool in 3D. And the opening scene, Episode 3, when Anakin and Obi-Wan are trying to get on General Grievous's command ship, flying through all the space, it looked great in 3D, and the lightsaber battles look great in 3D. So I'm interested to see how good this looks in 3D. And I love the graphics of Episode 3 when it came out, and that was 10 years ago. So think of how film technology has changed in these last 10 years. It's going to look amazing. And then I love IMAX like so much. I'm an IMAX fanboy, and I think for a lot of people who don't see a lot of IMAX movies, this could turn them into IMAX addict, because there's just something about seeing that 70-foot screen and hearing that sound immerse you, because it really does immerse you, and you're right up, it feels like you're right up in the action, and it feels like you're there. And so I'm just so pumped to see that, because this is going to be like the first time, my first time ever seeing a Star Wars movie in IMAX, and then in 3D on the premiere. It's just going to be amazing. It was really cool, and even part of the film is going to be shot with IMAX cameras, and there's this great little video where J.J. Abrams and the cast talk about how IMAX is just this great technology and a great medium through which to show film. And so let's take a look at that video.
I'm a huge fan of what IMAX is about. I wanted to shoot this one sequence in the format to have a movie, even one sequence of it, shot using those cameras. You feel it, and it ends up being that much more fun to watch.
The scale of it is so big and the sound is so great, it just makes it more immersive.
IMAX really is a powerful engine for storytelling.
Everything's gonna be bigger and more beautiful. You get dropped right into the middle of it.
That feeling of going to the movies and having a fully immersive, powerful, high-quality presentation of the film, it's something that is more valuable than ever. And I think that IMAX stands for that. And when you go to see a movie in that format, you know you're going to get something that is the best version of going out to the movies.
Yeah, so just IMAX is just, it's really like the top tier quality. And so it just makes me even more excited for the film. It's just the graphics are going to be seamless, because Star Wars was the pioneer of visual technology and audio technology. Just look at what Star Wars has meant to the world of film. Without Star Wars, modern film would not look nearly like it does today. And they were the pioneers of a lot of visual aspects, storytelling aspects. And George Lucas was really a pioneer for sci-fi genre in general. And so I'm looking for this movie to help keep that pace, like just to be ahead of everything else in visuals, ahead of everything else in storytelling, ahead of everything else in audio. And it is big shoes to fill for J.J. Abrams, and he said he's like extremely terrified. He was terrified filming it, and he's terrified hearing people's reaction, but he said it was just he loved Star Wars so much that he couldn't pass up the opportunity to work on it. And so he was on Jimmy Kimmel recently, and it's been great seeing the cast and J.J. Abrams on these late night talk shows. It gets you even more excited for the film. And so he gave away a little bit about the film. So let's take a look at that.
What's the first word of the movie?
The first word?
Yeah.
Spoken?
Yes, the first spoken word in the film.
Ready?
Yes.
This.
Look at it.
There we go. We got the first word of the movie. It's real important. It's this. So yeah, that really didn't give anything away. That's kind of kept to the mantra of J.J. Abrams and Star Wars in general. They really have kept it secretive. And I'm even surprised that they've shown some of the TV stuff and the TV spots that they have, unless they're kind of doing like a misdirection. Because I thought it would be even more secretive, but I'm sure they're going to have plenty more surprises up their sleeves. Let's also take another look at this clip where the cast was talking about how they found out they were cast, and I found it really funny that John Boyega's dad was real excited for him, but he didn't know what Star Wars was, and so that's kind of funny. So let's take a look at that clip.
Who was the first person you told this news?
I told my agent, Femi, but I think the most interesting thing was telling my dad. So I went home and I was like, Dad, I've just been cast in Star Wars. And he was just like, oh my God, you are in Star Wars? That is fantastic, I knew it. What is Star Wars?
You didn't know?
Yeah, so that's really cool to see how everyone, even though maybe they weren't the biggest Star Wars fans, that they are now, and they realize how big of a movie this is for our generation and our culture, because just Star Wars is everywhere. It just has touched so many lives, and it's an important franchise to everyone. And George Lucas created these 6 set of films, and that told this amazing story about the Skywalker family. And no one knew, I'm sure he didn't think it would be like this expansive, where we had hundreds of books, and even though they're legends now, but they're still out there, and it's just, it stretches to everything: books, comic books, TV shows like Rebels, and then now movies, and then we're gonna have these anthology movies too. I'm really excited for those, because that'll be interesting seeing some side stories into the Star Wars universe. And I'm looking forward to one day when they can have a Netflix series about the Old Republic, because I think there's some cool stories to tell about there, and Darth Bane and the rebirth of the Sith. So it's just like we're in a really good spot right now for Star Wars fans. We're right on the cusp of a new generation of content, and I'm really excited, and I trust Disney that they're going to do a great job, and I trust J.J. Abrams, and I wish he was directing all the films for the new saga, but I believe in Rian Johnson and Colin Trevorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see each of their take through the saga. And they said they already pretty much have all 3 films mapped out, and that they've been all working together on all of the films. So I think that's really cool. So we're going to see, even though it's going to be different directors, I think it'll keep that same feel, and it'll have the continuity that we like. And so, you know, even though George, he was supposed to be a consultant, George Lucas, and he doesn't really have anything to do with the films now, because Kathleen Kennedy said George is the type of person who's either in 110% or he can't be in it at all. So it's kind of sad that he's not consulting, but I think it's just time that if he's not going to do the movies, I think it's probably best that he's just put to the side a little bit. And then the foundation he's built is very strong, so I think it's just the matter of these new directors and Kathleen Kennedy building on that strong foundation. Yeah, so definitely in the movie, what I'm looking for and what I want to know is I want to know what's happened to the Skywalkers, because they've said that they're going to be, the Skywalker family lives on in this new movie. I want to find out who they are. I'm also interested to see, we know Kylo Ren's obsessed with Vader, and we know John Boyega has Luke's lightsaber, old lightsaber, so I wonder if if Kylo Ren will be gunning for that, because he seems like he has the Vader mask. What other artifacts does he want? If he knows that was Vader's old lightsaber, maybe he'll go after Finn, so we'll see about that. I want to know, is he trying to build, I've heard these rumors, maybe the Knights of Ren, is he trying to rebuild the Sith, the Sith Empire, and have a bunch of Sith acolytes like in the Old Republic running around? So it'll be interesting to see what his motivation is and what his goal is, because I've seen interviews with Adam Driver, and Adam Driver says that Kylo believes what he is doing is right. And that kind of reminds me of Darth Bane. Yes, he was this evil person, but he was calculating, in his heart, he believed he was doing what was right for the galaxy. Whereas Emperor Palpatine was just all about power. He just wanted power any way it means necessary. And, you know, I want to see, is Kylo on his own, or who his mentor is? There's someone who I want his mentor to be, but, you know, I don't know if they'll go there. It's probably, I don't know if they want to connect anything to the prequels, and maybe, I don't want to say it, because, I'll just let you guys be surprised, and we'll see if it's who I'm thinking. But yeah, so I want to see the evolution of what the New Republic is now, who's the leader, because who's in control, and just to see if the war, what imbalances it. Is it still it's 50-50 the war, or is New Republic about to finish it off, and then Kylo Ren comes on the scene and turns the tide? And the big question is, where's Luke been? He hasn't been doing any of the press junkets or been any of the trailers. And so I'm thinking, part of me thinks that Luke Skywalker will be right there out in front center in the first 5 minutes of the film. But then the other part of me thinks that we might not see Luke till the last 10 minutes of the movie. And I know most people would not be happy if that happens, but I could totally see Luke just coming to save the day at the last 10 minutes and having this big epic lightsaber battle with somebody at the end of the movie, and then maybe ending on kind of like a cliffhanger. I could see that happening. That'd be crazy to think he's only in the last 10 minutes of the movie, but they've just been so secretive. Maybe they want to be secretive throughout the movie too. I don't know. Or I could definitely see him being there in the beginning, but I wonder like why he's not there. It seems like he's been isolated probably. Maybe, this is getting into theories. Maybe I don't read spoilers or anything, so this is what I'm just thinking of. Maybe Kylo was his apprentice, and then he kind of went off to the dark side. I don't know. Maybe Luke's on his own journey, on his own path to self-discovery, to try to learn more things about the Force, and then just the world's kind of galaxy's kind of got out of balance since he's been gone. So it'll be just interesting to see where's Luke been and if he's rebuilt the Order. I don't think he has, but we'll see. And then just like, is he still a general for the New Republic? And it'll be interesting to see what Leia's role is. She's no longer Princess Leia, she's General Leia. So it'll be interesting to see what she does in the film. And it'll be awesome to see Chewbacca and Anthony Daniels playing C-3PO. And R2, it'll be great to see the whole cast of characters back. And I'm really excited to see these new characters, especially Oscar Isaac playing Poe. And he's going to be called Black Leader, which I think is really cool. And I think his X-Wing looks really cool. And BB-8's going to be his, instead of having R2 astromech, I think that he's going to have him in the cockpit from what I've read. And so it'll just be cool to see that. I think, whereas maybe he'll play like the Wedge role, but even more, definitely more screen time and definitely more prominent. Where like Wedge was a cool character in the original trilogy, but he wasn't a main pivotal character. And I have a feeling Oscar Isaac's going to be a pivotal character. And it'll be cool to see Captain Phasma. And it seems like they have a lot of firepower on both sides. So it could be just a full blown out war right at the onset of the movie. And it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out and how much they want to show in this first film and how much they want to save to the other films. Because I heard we might not even find out who Finn and Rey, who they are, like their identities. We might not find out until episode 8. And I'd be kind of sad. I kind of wanted to see like who they are and how Finn has this lightsaber, because that's pretty crazy that he has that. And who's Rey waiting for on the desert? She said she's waiting for her family. So I want to see like who her family is. And it's interesting that Han, they keep showing him with Han. So is that like a clue there, or is just Han's the first one that found him? And it'll just be interesting. I've noticed a lot of movies nowadays, like The Hunger Games and Maze Runner, they're not adverse to killing off main characters. So it'll be interesting to see what Star Wars does if they really want to shake us and kill one of the main characters in this film. I don't know. It seemed just to show us like how serious this is. It'll be interesting to see that. So I'm just ready to be on the edge of my seat for all 2 hours and 10 minutes or whatever it is. And I don't think I'll blink once during the whole film. And it's just, I'm ready to be surprised, because in the prequels, you knew what was going to happen. And this, legitimately, I have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, I have all these thoughts, but I'm sure they're all going to be wrong. So I'm just like ready to be surprised. I'm ready to feel that mystical feel when you see a Star Wars movie for the first time. It's been 10 years since that happened. And I feel like I could appreciate it even so much more now, being at this age, just how great Star Wars is and what it really means to everyone who loves it. Because being at Star Wars Celebration amongst 60,000 people coming together just because they love Star Wars, it just really made me think like how important this movie franchise is and how it really touched people's lives. This is not just another movie. This is like, it's on a whole nother scope. And it's just an important movie. And I'm looking for it to be done really well. And I think it will beat a Jurassic World's 208 million record. I'm guessing it'll probably get to like 250 million its opening weekend. And I think it has a chance to beat Avatar. And, I expect this to be, in the 90% for Rotten Tomatoes, even though I don't really care what they say because I disagree with them a lot. But I think this is definitely going to be a box office success and a good movie. And I'm just really excited for it, and I can't wait. And, I just hope I'm just going to get in a cocoon and get in a coma for the next couple days because, I just can't wait for it, and just wake me up on December 17th. So, yeah, I'm just ready to be in costume, waiting in line, just that anticipation where all you're thinking about is like Star Wars. I'm just ready for that. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been Frontline Media Star Wars ForceCast. And, think like a Jedi, have Jedi thoughts, and have a safe couple of days. Get ready for the movie. Thanks for watching. See you on the other side.
I'm a guest on your show.
Okay, here we're on the Jedi Thoughts Star Wars After Dark show. And I'm here with Henry Wilson.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking about Star Wars. And we're going to do a little question and answer type thing. So,
Yep.
Henry, are you excited for the movie?
Of course. I don't know. Of course I'm excited. I'm just waiting to get done through all my life stuff going on right now. But no, I'm always excited. It's like, when you go to bed at night and, you go through, before you go to bed, you go on your computer, you look at your email and stuff. To me, it's like every night I'm looking at the Star Wars and just thinking, okay, it's like around this time you're usually just got to get through this to get to Christmas. And now, for me, it's like, just got to get through this to get to Star Wars. Let's go. One day at a time to get to Star Wars. One day at a time to get to Star Wars. And every night I do a little bit of Star Wars stuff, like one episode of any kind of Star Wars episode.
For sure.
Anything related to Star Wars I'll be doing before I go to bed, just to keep myself I'm not amped before. I'll be amped for going to the movie. I'm slowly trying to keep myself at a certain stage.
Yeah,
going
I'm trying
into
to
it.
hold myself back as well. And then that day, in the morning, I think it'll be takeoff.
Because I don't even know what the plan is for that day yet, though. You just know it's going to be the craziest thing at the theater.
Yeah.
It's just going to be insane. Because the first showing's at 7.
Yeah.
And then the last showing for our theater is at 5.
Yeah.
So you gotta think from 7 to 5, it's nonstop people coming in and out. And I really feel bad for the people that are going at 3 or 5. You just know they're gonna get the plot line spoiled for them.
That's what
there's
I'm
gonna be some
worried about.
jerk. I won't be the jerk.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching it at 7 and then 10. I just don't. I can't believe. I'll watch it again afterwards. We'll discuss that later if you want to watch them. I kind of want to watch it bam, 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 bam. Get all
we're going. I guess Henry says we're watching all the way to 5 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going 7, 10, 1, 5.
I'm in.
And then I have to work the next day, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a good that's about 9 hours of Star Wars, maybe 10 hours of Star Wars.
That's only about what you're supposed to get, half of what you're supposed to get every day. So I usually watch 20 hours.
It's 2.5 hours, 2:20?
This movie's going to be 2 hours and 18 minutes, I think. Oh, yeah, and there's going to be no extra scene after the credits.
I don't believe J.J. Abrams at all.
I don't believe him either.
J.J. Abrams said, he's not Khan. No way he's Khan. Guess what? He was Khan.
So I guess we should look for a big, spectacular end of the scene
I don't believe anything. I don't believe one word that comes out of that guy's mouth when it comes to anything. I don't even think he directed the movie because he's telling us I think he's a full-on liar about everything.
You think George really came back?
Yeah,
and
George was
it?
doing it all the time. We just got pictures of JJ.
And after we say it's amazing, George is like,
I
"Yep,
did
that
it."
was me."
And if it's bad, it's like, "Oh, JJ." By the way, I just spit all across that camera.
Spit take.
No, I'm really excited for the movie. I have my predictions, and at this point, though, we've been waiting for so long that my energy level was so much in the beginning, and I've just carried that energy all the way here, and now I'm it's like a marathon, and I'm just tired. I'm so tired, and then now I'm just just give me my water. Just give me the movie now. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want even any expectations. I'm just ready to enjoy it. Just sit down and enjoy it now. I'm ready.
No more waiting, thinking about. Let's just do it.
I went to Disneyland. I did the rides for Star Wars. My amp levels are up. I did Hyperspace Mountain, by far one of the best experiences I'll have in my life.
Oh wow, I need to go down and do that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I didn't get to see the new Star Tours though with Jakku.
Oh, you didn't?
That was the next day, but sadly I'm not a big fan of Star Tours. It's fun, but
Hyperspace Mountain. That's way better.
But no. By far, excited.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know how you can't be. I'm not gonna dress up though. I'm getting a Star Wars shirt.
What?
I'm gonna get a Star Wars shirt and that's it.
Okay.
My dad and I my dad earlier in October he goes, "Well, we're gonna buy our costumes, right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's go." And he goes on in the $200, $300 costumes. And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
He's like, I'll pay. I'm like, okay. He's like, "Yeah, I'll go as I'll go as Obi-Wan and you go as Anakin." Or I wanted to go as Luke, but there's no really good Luke outfit from the 6th movie. They don't have a
You don't like the black one?
I do, but they don't have a good one. There's so many good Anakin ones.
You should have talked to me. I could have found you a good one.
I was gonna do Anakin. So we're gonna do it. By the way, I thought the whole time this was for Halloween. Halfway through, it's yeah. I'm like, he's like, but we're not gonna get it for this. And he's like, I'm like, oh, we're not gonna get it for Halloween. He's like, for the movies. And I was like, this is for the movies? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't care about the Halloween. This is for the movies. And I was like, oh my gosh. We didn't end up doing it just because pricing and shipping dates and all.
Yeah.
But no,
it's a big ordeal to get a costume together. Yeah. So Henry, let's have a little prediction, little friendly wager here.
Do you want me to write it down or just say it?
No. Let's talk about this. We can do a couple ones. First one is, what do you predict? Not what do you think it will be, but what do you...
It's like the same, though.
I guess it's the same thing, yeah. So what do you think...
Okay, so like what my heart thinks or what my brain thinks? What my heart wants or like, you know, kind of that kind of thing? Like,
no, it's just whatever you want, because you're probably thinking I'm asking a different question. But this question is just, what do you think its Rotten Tomatoes percentage will be? Let's just see who gets closer.
I'm going to go with... This is my guesstimate. This is my... I'm thinking 96, and I honestly could see 98%.
Okay. I mean, I was scared for a second, because I know
I'm a little brutal on movies.
You're a little hard on movies.
I'm a little brutal on movies.
In my heart, I'm thinking, Henry, please don't say like 60% or something.
No.
But
there's no way this movie gets under 85. There's no way this movie gets under 85.
Because even Phantom Menace, I believe, was like 86.
From what I hear from everybody that's been talking on this movie, they give it like, from Star Wars fans to non-Star Wars fans, they're saying this movie is just amazing from the cast and all. I mean, I know they haven't shown a lot of screenings yet. There's people who have seen it.
I think JJ said, yeah, about 15 people have seen it so far.
Yeah, but from whatever I heard, it's just doing amazing. And apparently it hits everybody's realms, like Star Wars fans, young kids, all adults, and it's gonna like be jaw-breaking. That being said, we haven't seen the movie yet, but I don't think see this movie doing worse than a B+.
Yeah. So, okay, my guess will be, honestly, I think it should be, I know this can sound crazy, but like I feel like this could be the type of movie where it could be 100%.
Yeah, they don't get 100% out.
Yeah, but there's going to be, this...
99.
There's going to be that one guy who's like, oh, the bar scene was a little too long, and the character was not dimensional enough.
I just thought Rey was, you know, she just wasn't the right actress for the part.
Yeah. So I think my guess is going to be 99%.
The one guy will give it like a 99% and it doesn't get the 100 because he's like, it was just too good to give it. It was just too good. I couldn't. No, yeah, I honestly don't see this movie being bad. I don't think it being bad, but for me as like a fan, I don't know if they'll do everything I want it to do. My predictions though, like I think they're gonna kill off a main character in the movie.
I agree. In one of the trailers, it looks like Chewbacca might be in trouble there if you freeze frame it.
And I'm going to say this. I don't think they might kill one of the main trilogy characters out, or the old trilogy. I'm saying they're going to kill off a new trilogy character in this movie. They might kill off
I agree with you.
Finn, Rey. I feel like they would kill off Finn before they kill off Rey. They're going to kill off like one of those.
I agree with that, but I don't think they're killing off Finn because the panel I watched she said, yeah, John's already going on set for episode 8.
Yeah. If you go
but,
that
could be a misdirection.
IMDb, though, it's like all the characters are kind of like, they have character names, but we don't know like who's gonna make it or not.
Yeah, I'm scared about Han Solo because during that panel, Harrison Ford was sitting on her left, and she just grabbed John. And she's like, "Yeah, they'll be on set in January," and then Harrison kind of like shifted in his seat a little bit. So I don't know. I'm worried about a main character could go.
This is the whole thing. Is like we all expect Han to die, or like one of those like Han or Chewie or those people, because like they've been just alluding to it so much, and like, but the thing is with like J.J. Abrams and anything, I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. For all I know, they're all going to the next movie. Like, for all I know, like Luke's in the movie 100%. We don't hear anything from Mark Hamill talking about the movie, by the way. It's like they kept him under like in a basement for a year and a half, and then we don't want him going anywhere with it. And I'm just like, I don't know about that though.
I think you're right. What you said about he said it wasn't going to be Khan in Star Trek.
No,
I agree with you. This could be all a big misdirection.
All my theories, by the way, will be out the window by the time the movie starts. Like one guy in like Pennsylvania will be like, "That was my theory," but no, I mean, never mind then. I was just going to do you like really think like everybody has the same theory? Like everybody's like, "Oh, Luke, Luke's the bad guy or something." Everybody has the same theory. Do you really think a franchise would make a theory that everybody would think of, or everybody would think like it must be this?
Yeah, especially JJ. I don't think.
Like, I'm keeping him under the. I think he's all under the wraps, and I think there's something like there's a huge grander scale going on. Because if you notice, every trailer that's come out, every TV spot that's come out, it's always been like the same things. Everybody's always wowed about it, but it's always just one new scene dropped or one new thing dropped. But it's relatively. We've only seen about like maybe like 5% of the movie, or like 5% of scenes.
I agree with that. And then I'm looking forward to John Williams' music, and I hope they don't like release the soundtrack early and have a title like Qui-Gon's Demise again. So that'll be.
But
good.
yeah, all in all, I'm ready for the movie now. Ready to go watch it.
It'll break $2 billion, right?
Oh God, it'll break everything.
Okay, it's going $3 billion now. All right, let's go.
All right.
See ya.
See you next time.